Closed captioning of News 3 is sponsored by Bronson.
It was just over a month ago when we got word that West Michigan auto emissions testing stations would not be opening. Motorists in Kent, Ottawa, and Muskegon counties were spared at the last minute. The state had met clear air standards. It left several people at these testing stations out of a job. Other parts of the auto industry are also affected.
Today, some workers at the largest maker of auto emissions equipment are walking home without their jobs. The company is called Automotive Diagnostics. It's headquartered in Portage near US 131. News 3's Kyung La reports.
John Brown is taking nothing for granted about his job today. That's because he's not one of the 50 laid off workers.
So far, I've been one of the lucky ones. I get to stay here and keep my job and try to get us back in line with the industry.
The government put the brakes on the emissions industry by not forcing some states to have emissions tests. That also puts the brakes on Automotive Diagnostics, a company that had been planning for a boom in emissions testing after the passage of the Clean Air Act.
It just kind of throws a monkey wrench into everybody's plans and just slows down all of the businesses in general.
Drivers in Kent, Muskegon, and Ottawa counties breathed a sigh of relief when the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency said it would not force their cars to undergo emissions testing. But companies like Automotive Diagnostics say while it saved the drivers several $100s, it cost them in personnel.
The president of Automotive Diagnostics wrote letters to representatives, but it didn't prevent the employee layoffs.
Very difficult to tell them that because of something beyond our control, we have to separate from them. So, yes, it is. It's very difficult and it's sad, but I guess that's business these days.
Congress will be getting to business on the emissions issue next week. There's a Republican rescission bill in the House. If passed, it would freeze money from the federal government for some emissions testing for vehicles on the road. Now, what does that mean for companies like Automotive Diagnostic? It means less of a chance to rebound into a healthy emissions industry. Judy?
Does the emissions industry, Kyung, expect that business is ever going to get better, or is this a permanent lull in the industry?
Well, it's really hard to say. It's very difficult to predict, but at Automotive Diagnostics, they hope that by the end of this year, it will start to look better for them.
Kyung, thanks for that report live in Kalamazoo.
Well, there's still talk of this warm-up out there, right? Meteorologist John Wendell is up next.